Now, desperate crowds have been scrambling for aid at the Rafah crossing between Gaza and Egypt. Palestinians try to stop aid trucks searching for food and other supplies. The crossing is the main route for relief deliveries. Communications have been repeatedly cut in Gaza, further complicating the distribution of basic goods. Well, that's as the humanitarian situation inside the Strip is worsening by the day. Palestinians have been standing in long food queues in Rafah to receive small amounts of aid. The UN Food Programme says around half of Gaza's population is now starving. Hani Mahmoud has more on the deteriorating conditions in the Strip.
We are at the southern western side of Rafah city. This particular area is an evacuation zone. This is the other side of Al-Mawazi evacuation zone, where 25,000 Palestinian displaced, hungry, thirsty, and more profoundly traumatized Palestinian being displaced into this area. And in the building behind me, that is the College Hospital under construction. 25,000 people with only one source of water, 5,000 liters of water available every day for 25,000 evacuees and displaced Palestinians. When we look at the number of people and the amount of water, we can understand the level of difficulty people are going through. This building right here is still under construction. It lacks the very basic essentials, the food supplies, the water supplies, the sanitations, and the hygiene facilities that are important for the survival of human beings. The area outside the hospital where people have set up their tents, there are piles of garbage mounting around the area, causing and threatening public health and the threat of the spread of infectious diseases around the area. Everywhere you look, there are piles of this garbage around the area. There is also the fear of rain and water because it can cause a great deal of a flood in this area. Gaza winter can be cold, can be wet, as well as possibility of flood can occur. The living conditions of people in this area are very difficult. And in comparison to where people or where they stayed before, their livelihood, one person in a very frustrating tone described how his life has changed dramatically. He lived in a concrete home with all he needs, all the basic supplies from water, food, and medical supplies. Found himself here in a makeshift tent, a nylon and a plastic tent here in this evacuation zone.
The situation is very difficult. No toilets, no food, no water. We buy drinking water every day, but many people don't have any money to buy anything. Our children are suffering from the lack of toilets, and we worry about their health.
This is how an evacuation site in Gaza looks like. As you can see, it lacks the very basic sanitations, the very basic hygiene facilities. We're looking at a concrete skeleton where hundreds of people in the buildings in different floors trying to live their life with the basic minimum of living conditions. If they need water, they have to walk a distance away from this building to get their 1 gallon of water. If they need to use a toilet, it's also another journey in the open area to use the toilets. Each passing day in this evacuation zone represents an increasingly very difficult day for displaced Palestinians who have become thirsty, hungry, and more profoundly traumatized as the war continues to pound the Gaza Strip from north to south. Hani Mahmoud, Al-Mawazi Evacuation Zone, Al Jazeera.